For the past 6 years, I've been shooting all of my photographs with a Canon Rebel. Before that, I was going hiking with a Nikon DSLR. Since I started doing YouTube, I've been filming exclusively on my iPhone. And while all of these have helped me to capture my most favorite moments, I feel like I've simply outgrown their sensor capabilities as well as the lenses I've had in my kit. So I decided it was time for a change. Finally made the switch to Sony mirrorless, and I couldn't be happier about it. Given the Alpha's creative options, features like face detection, and productivity gains with an electronic viewfinder, mirrorless is definitely the future. And while the competition's catching up, Sony remains ahead of the curve when it comes to mirrorless. I did a lot of research and debate, and the A7 III is simply one of the best cameras you can buy today for the money. Along with the A7 III, I got the new 24-105 constant f4 aperture lens. And for the money, it's a high quality lens that's almost on par with the 24-70 2.8. And I figure the extra reach will be useful for everyday shooting, and especially while I'm out traveling and hiking. And since I'm new to the Sony lineup, I figure that 24-105 will be a good lens to start out with. And it's also good for vlogging. In fact, I'm using it right now. And as we all know, the Sony cameras only have a tilty screen, not a tilty flippy screen, so to aid in vlogging, I found a little cold shoe adapter that mounts on top of the camera, and I can put my smartphone in there. So that way I can use the Play Memories app to see what the camera's seeing. And this mount's really nice too, because it actually has another cold shoe mount on top of it, so I can put a Rode Video Micro on top of that. So I'll link to that below. A stable platform is critical for any kind of landscape photography, long exposures, and nighttime photography. So I used a cheap travel tripod a long time ago, and it was okay. It was lightweight, it was probably under a pound, and it did the job until it didn't do the job. One time I was shooting in Valley of Fire, and it actually dropped my camera. I think a gust of wind hit it and just knocked it right on over. So it's just something I don't want to risk with this camera setup. I'm getting more and more expensive gear. It's just not worth it. So then I've been using this Sony tripod here for a while, and it's not too bad. It's a VCT R100. It's pretty cheap. Again, it's a pound and a half. It's lightweight. It's stable. It does a job. I've never had any problems with this, to be honest. Now that I have a better sensor in the camera here, I want to take advantage of that. I want to get nice, sharp, crisp images. So after a lot of debate, decided to go with the Manfrotto Be-Free Advanced Carbon Fiber Edition. And at 2.75 pounds, it's not the lightest travel tripod out there, but the extra weight does help for stability, and the carbon fiber definitely will help dampen vibrations from the wind. And the 494 ball head that comes with the tripod is nice and stable. It's great for a mirrorless setup. The warranty is great with the Manfrotto brand, and the price was right on this, especially for what you're getting in carbon, so I'm going to give it a try. So seeing that video is one of my interests as well, I did debate back and forth with a fluid video head versus a ball head. And I looked at the Be-Free Live video head specifically in the store, and while it was perfectly fine for panning and tilting for video, it wasn't stable enough for photography. And since photography is still my primary interest, I want to start out with something that's more stable for photography. And maybe in the future I'll look at a video head. But for right now, any video head that would be stable enough is A, way too heavy to carry around on a day-to-day basis or traveling or hiking, and B, it's just too much money for what I want to spend right now. Now, when I don't need the height and stability of the Be-Free Advanced, then I have the option to use the Pixie for my cell phone or the Pixie Evo for the camera itself. But these will be useful for when I just need to set the camera on a tabletop, or if I'm going in somewhere where I need to be discreet and they don't let me take in a full-size tripod, these will be really useful. Now, besides having a stable tripod, one of the other most important things you can have for your camera setup are good high-quality filters. Now, I've been using Polar Pro's filters with my Mavic Pro for a long time, and I've been really happy with them. So I've been eyeing the Quartz line lineup of filters for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras ever since they were announced. And yeah, they're expensive for sure, but the new Hoya filters are about the same price now, and I've used cheaper filters in the past and I just haven't been happy with the quality. So I decided just to spend the money, get the good filters, buy them once, and then use them forever. And you might actually use these forever because they do have a lifetime warranty. And after all, if you're spending thousands on a camera and lens, why would you cheap out on a filter that goes in the very front of your lens? So like everything else, I spent weeks debating if I should get fixed neutral density filters or variable filters, or combination neutral density and circular polarizer filters. And at the end of the day, I decided just to keep it simple and get the most basic elements possible for the highest quality, as well as the most versatility. So to start out with, I have the UV filter here to protect the lens. I have an ND8 and an ND64 for video and longer exposures, and I have a circular polarizer to get those nice colors in landscapes. Now the other reason these filters were so expensive is because I opted to go the 82mm route. The lens I'm shooting with right now has a 77mm diameter, but I'm already looking at getting the 24mm 1.4, which has an 82mm diameter. So instead of buying a bunch of different filters with different sizes, it's easier just to get these stepping rings, and then you can attach different size filters on all of your lenses. I highly recommend getting some stepping rings and just getting bigger filters to begin with. It'll future-proof your purchase. And on smaller lenses like this, it'll help with eliminating any kind of vignetting on the corners if you decide to stack lenses or shoot at wide angles. I got a slide light strap for the camera. You know, I like the strap that came with the A7III. I like the Alpha logo that's on it, but the quality of the strap is so much nicer. You know, I love Peak Design products in general, and it's just easier to adjust it and to take it on and off the camera. And the black webbing with red accents really goes well with the A7III. So I got one of these tempered glass screen protectors for the back of the camera. That's one thing you do have to watch out for with these cameras, because the screen doesn't fold into the camera like on other DSLRs. It is easy to scratch it, so I recommend picking up one of these. Now, I don't have an intervalometer yet for this camera, and since Sony removed the ability to do time lapses from the Play Memories app on camera, I'll have to find one soon. For now, I got the Sony remote, so I can at least control the camera remotely. I like the features on this remote, and it was a decent price, so I decided to try it out. Now, I did decide to upgrade my blower to the rocket blower. Everybody has one of these, you have to get one. You know, I had an old blower like this, but it was a knockoff brand, and the rubber smelled so bad that I just never even wanted to use it. This thing, you might actually say that it smells good. So it turns out that the Extreme Pro SanDisk is perfect for the A7III. Anything faster than this would actually just be overkill for the camera. I'll be recording simultaneously to both memory slots. You know, I've never had a card fail on me, but I know people who have. So since I have a camera that supports that ability now, I figured I'll take advantage of it. Now, since I ordered from Adorama, they had a bundle that came with a bunch of extra accessories. For example, this Pro Optic cleaning kit. In fact, it came with 2 of them. The original lens pen actually came with a set of filters. They call it Lens Essentials Filter Kit. It's a 77mm filter kit. I don't know if they're any good, but maybe I'll try them out. But it did come with an extra battery, which will be useful. It's third party, but that's okay. It came with this Low Pro camera case here. I don't really have any use for this. I have an everyday backpack that I use. Came with a bunch of other random stuff. Came with this Slinger Pro Optic. It's like a felt fabric wrapping for your gear, so it doesn't get scratched up, but I don't think I need this. You know, the inside of the Peak Design backpack is pretty smooth, so I don't think I need that. It came with a memory card wallet. Don't really need it. Card reader, don't need to already have one. Well, I upgraded my GoPro to the Hero 7 Black after reading about how superior the video quality is on it. And I have a ski trip coming up as well as a trip to Hawaii, so this will prove to be super useful for those environments. And to begin with, I got 2 SanDisk Extreme 64 gig cards. Again, the read and write speed of these is pretty perfect for the GoPro. Anything else would be probably overkill, even for shooting 4K video. For my iPhone, I've been using the Moment lenses for a long time, and they're awesome. Highly recommend picking those up. So finally, this anamorphic lens came in the mail. So I can't wait to try this out and do some video with it. Alright, and also for my phone, I picked up the new Osmo Mobile 2. I had been using the Osmo Mobile 1 for a long time, and it's a great gimbal. The only problem with it is it has this crazy sensor up here. If you've used this, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, this has to detect that a phone's in place here, or else it just won't turn on. And that sounds all good and fine, but the problem is a lot of times it doesn't detect your phone case. So, like the Moment phone case I'm using, or even the Apple phone case I'm using, it never detected that. So I'd always have to carry around some extra tape. Like this, I would just keep it taped to the gimbal itself or the plate here. But I have to cover my phone case with that tape in order for the sensor to work. And so the new gimbal doesn't have that sensor, so I won't have to worry about forgetting to bring that tape or rubber bands, or I've even used my girlfriend's hair bands in the past to wrap something around there just to get it to detect it. And then I finally got the Moment counterweight to use with the Osmo Mobile. So now when I'm using the heavy Moment lenses, I no longer have to use this crazy AA battery and tape contraption. You're probably wondering what this was. Yeah. So I also picked up some of these low pro cases. This is the Dashpoint AVC 42. And these are great. You know, this is perfect for a GoPro and accessories, as well as cables in that little mesh pouch there. And I've also found that this works out perfectly for the Rode Video Micro with the included dead cat. And then I actually ordered this one by mistake. It's the same kind of case, it's just a little bit larger. And it has some cable organizers inside, but it has slots for memory cards or batteries. I also got a nice LG ultra widescreen monitor to edit videos on, so that's increased my productivity more than anything else. It's already done wonders. You can just see so much more of the timeline. I'm also working on trying to set up my room so it's a little bit better for making YouTube videos. For example, bookcase here, I just set this up the other day and put nice lighting in here, so I think that's pretty cool. I like the way that turned out. So that's about it. You know, that was a lot to talk about. You know, I love talking about new gear and getting new gear, but not just for the sake of getting new gear, you know, but more for the creative opportunities that it opens up and allows you to partake in. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there and shooting more this year and hopefully increasing my editing speed. So I promise that's it. I'm done. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It does help. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.